I'm in Microsoft Word, and if you've used Word or any other word processor, you've probably used a search and replace feature. And so I have the sentence, "The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog." You may have seen that sentence elsewhere, such as when they show fonts, and one of the reasons they use this sentence is it actually uses every letter of the alphabet. I'm going to click the replace button up here on my button bar, and I want to search for the word brown and replace it maybe with the word purple. So if I click replace, it will find the word, and I click replace again, it will replace it. So it's a two-step process in Microsoft Word. What we're going to do is a one-step process, which would sort of be more like if I change this back to brown and simply said replace all, it would automatically replace all the occurrences. And we would use a loop to do that, so we haven't quite gotten to that yet. Just to speed things up a little bit here, I'm going to go back to my phrase. I'm going to copy to the clipboard, that way I don't have to retype it again. I'm going to launch Visual Studio. We're going to create a new project, Windows Form app. I'm going to call this one 03F, Search and Replace. I'm going to roll up my form a little bit here. Let's create a text box. And for the text of that text box, I'm going to paste in my sentence. I'm going to set the multi-line to true in case we end up with something fairly lengthy. And we'll bring this down a little bit. And then I'm going to create a label. The text will be searched for. I will put a text box to the right of that. I'm going to search for, by default, as we did in our Word example, the word brown. I'm going to name this TXT search. And I'm going to select both the label and the text box, copy and paste. The label text is going to be replaced with I'm just going to align these a little bit, and so my default here on this text box we'll use purple, and I want to name this text box TXT replace. And then we'll do a button. I'm going to call it BTN search and replace. And our text will be search and replace. All right, that's our interface. I'm going to pull my properties over and let's code the button. So I'm going to create some string variables. Create one called myText, one called search, and one called replace. And my text is going to equal, and I didn't name my text box. Going back to design, let's just name this TXT phrase. So my text is going to equal txt phrase.text. Search will equal txt search.text. We could have done this without using variables. We could just refer to the text properties. It gives us some practice using variables, but also I think we'll make our other code a little bit simpler. And then finally, replace will equal txt replace.text. So first of all, I want to make sure that our search string is in the myText. So I'm going to do another variable. I'm going to call it LOC for location. It's going to be an integer value, and it is going to equal myText and I want to find the index of our search phrase. So if lock does not equal -1, it would equal -1 if it didn't find the phrase. So we're going to do something if it finds it. And what we're going to do is create a new string. So a new variable called new string, which is of type string. And it's going to equal my text dot substring. And we'll start with character 0, and the number of characters I want is the value of lock. This is going to get all the characters in front of the word we're searching for, or the phrase we're searching for. We're going to concatenate our replace word, replace phrase onto the front end of that string. And then we also want to concatenate the remainder of the string after our search word. And to do that, we can take my text dot substring, and here we're going to take the value of lock plus the length of our search word, because it will determine where we start in that next part of the phrase, whether that search word was 3 letters, 5 letters, 7 letters, 12 letters, maybe it was a phrase of 100 letters. We want to start with the location after that. And then we'll take the txt phrase. It's our original phrase text box. We're going to replace the text of that text box with our value of new string. That will replace the original text with our new string. Let's do an else. If we didn't find the search, we will have a message box that says failed to find search string. And we'll give it a title of no change made. All right, that all looks good. Let's start. We have the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. I'm going to search for brown, replace it with purple. That worked. Now let's replace purple with something shorter, maybe red. That worked. And let's replace the quick red fox, slow polka dotted elephant. And so you can see we can replace a whole phrase. So that all seems to work. Now if it doesn't find, like we're going to search for quick red fox here, if I search and replace and it doesn't find it, then we get our message box saying failed to find search string. So in this project we used an if-else along with some string methods to search for text and replace it with something else. If you wanted to make this case sensitive, then we can convert my text and search either to all upper or to lower. But in this case, I would leave the burden on the user to make sure they're searching for the correct case sensitivity and replacing it with the correct case sensitivity.